So anyway, he worked at
Broken
Bowmore
glass
for a while,
everywhere.
and he came on.
If it ain't
What's
about
that?
the money, Cole, I just don't care. I'm that good fella shy guy, sometimes wise guy. C-U-I-N-H-W-A-I-I. Cole, will you stop drinking whiskey? Rob, why try? I'm a die-hot. No, that didn't work. Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to, but you probably should, you probably are, and that's why we like you. On this week's episode, we are drinking one heck of a Scotch as far as I know of. We'll find out more about that later. We're drinking Octomore Edition 13.2. Is that what it is?
That's correct.
Oh boy, look at me knowing how to read labels on a
Yeah.
YouTube video. Before we get to that though, hit us up on Instagram, speak to us, reach out and touch us. Let us know you're there. We want to hear from you. We'll chit chat. It'll be a wonderful thing. Also, if you want to support the show monetarily, you can hit us up on patreon.com/chillfiltered. Also, we've been begging. The boys are begging you. Please, for the love of Pete. God, Pete. I don't know what rate and review us. Yeah. So it's been a while since we got a rating and review. We would love to get that. It would lift our spirits. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Cole, my man, how you doing, buddy?
That's me.
That's you.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another week drinking my entry buzz now. I just sort of killed a bottle of Sazerac, not in one sitting. But I poured most of it into my decanter and then finished the rest in this nice Waterford glass.
Beautiful.
So I don't know, not much going on in terms of my world. I did have a really good D's Nuts joke this week, which I will get to. We put it on Instagram, but it was so organic that I just had to share it with the whole world. Is that I found my favorite chips brand, Utz, and my favorite French onion dip brand, Dean's. And I was like, why didn't I think of this earlier? And so Dean's Utz was born.
that's
got him.
That's like you also kind of got yourself because you didn't see it.
Yeah.
You didn't see it for a while.
Got me.
Have I mentioned? I have a friend who works in my building. Their last name's Hildy, and I've known her for 8 years. And then finally this year I put it together. Hildy's Nuts.
Well, I had a boss previously. His name was Andy, and I would always be like, I'd always mention to my coworkers that I could joke around with like that. I'm like, oh yeah, did you guys get that thing from Andy? And I was always hoping they'd be like, which Andy? And they'd be like, Andy's Nuts.
Yeah, it's good. So fun. Have you tried Mr. Beast's D's Nuts chocolate bar?
Not yet. No, have you?
I have. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh man, fine. That was weird. My screen just went black. I was like, uh-oh.
Huh. No, everything's good on this end.
Yeah, no, I got one the other day, and it's okay.
Okay,
not bad. Okay. It's very light. It's not super sweet.
Dietz and Watson, the deli brand, they got into nuts a little bit, and I think just for the sake that they can call them Dietz nuts. Yeah, but I would have too if I were that. Don't get me wrong. I'm waiting for a really good one, and I guess I'll give it to you now. Here's my initials.
You waited so long.
I know. No, I was like, I don't know. It might not come up in the best way or in a good way. So my initials are CDS or CDs. And then I'd be like, CDs Nuts.
Okay. You could do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of branding, you know what I've been singing all week?
Please.
They got the sun! All week long. And so I showed it to my students today, and they were all like, the rest of the day, they got a pepper bar. So that was fun. They were enjoying it.
That's like one of the greatest. Like, I don't remember many things, and I don't buy many things. I probably do buy many things, but not because of the commercials. But I wanted to go to Quiznos many a time after thinking about that song. There's probably like no Quiznos left.
No, there are. We got them. We have some in Idaho.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, there are not any out here.
Yeah, I do love the pepper bar.
Oh, you gotta love the pepper bar.
When I go to Subway, I'll be like, you just put as many jalapenos and pepperoncinis on there as you feel comfortable giving a person.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes you get a lot, sometimes you don't. But you go to Quiznos.
I mean, from what I've had of Quiznos, I would choose them 10 times out of 10 over Subway.
Yeah.
Because they had some really good sandwiches when I went there back in the day.
They also have hot sauce by the Pepper Bar.
Ooh. Oh, that's nice.
Hot sizzle.
Yeah, I used to get the prime rib and peppercorn in high school sandwich, and it was like I like tried to replicate it at home, couldn't do it. It was so good.
You don't got the subs.
No, but I don't have a pepper bar either.
You have a pepper plant.
Why. We got a pepper bar.
Cole got a pepper plant.
I got a pepper plant. I got 2. Yeah. Did I tell you that? I have 2 going outside right now.
No, we haven't talked about how your peppers are popping lately.
Yeah, so this year I didn't even plant any seeds. Technically I did, but let's not count what happened there.
Yeah, well, she's due on the 28th of June.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a seed you planted.
You know what I'm saying? Ching. But yes, last year I really had a poor turnout because I didn't really have time to transfer into bigger containers, and they were just kind of stunted in that way.
Yeah.
But then this year I decided to just go to they have like a really nice urban garden festival in Richmond, and they were selling seedlings of peppers. So I decided to get
seedlings nuts. No, it didn't work.
Yeah, we'll work on it. But yeah, I decided to get a jalapeno and a Carolina Reaper. I normally would have gotten a ghost pepper because ghost peppers are a little less than the Carolina Reaper and can have really good flavor if you tame them down. But I don't know what a Carolina Reaper tastes like.
Wing sauce. It is.
What's that?
Melinda's.
Oh yeah, I've seen that thing for that. Yeah.
Have you? You need to get yourself some ghost pepper wing sauce. It is the best.
Did I ever send you either my hot sauce or my barbecue sauce?
No.
Well, I got to send you a couriered package soon anyway, so maybe I'll just make a batch and put it in there.
I would like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I think you would really like what I put out.
You, my friend, are a culinary wizard. You do great things.
Thanks.
You are really good at finding something and going, this is what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're a man of many hobbies.
It might take a few iterations, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, it's going to get done.
Oh, it's done. Yeah, so serenity now. Yeah, that's my life. My parents are coming into town. My sister, I'll see. Basically, my parents are doing an RV trip on the East Coast, and so they're going to see some friends in North Carolina. And then my sister is going to go down and see them in North Carolina, but basically pass by our house on the way down and way back up. So I think it's probably on the way down. She's going to stop by. So I get to see my sister, Amanda. And then the day after Memorial Day through Sunday, they'll be at our place. So I'm excited about that. That's and they'll be, I'll have to work 3 of those days. But we'll see them after work. We'll hang out, and they're going to watch Beck during the day and just have fun with her. So I'm sure Beck's going to love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited to see them.
Are they still in Colorado Springs?
Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but they just got an RV now. So,
like, what kind of RV? Like, do they do like the van thing, or?
It's like a mid-size RV. It's definitely not like a full long one, but it's probably half of that. And it's kind of like a truck looking thing. But it's not like a pickup truck with a back. Like it's all one thing. I don't even know what you call it. There's like a number for it or a code for it or something like that.
Code. What's the code?
They have like a bed in the back, and they have like a kitchen, dining room, and then you can hop right into the front seat. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about my RV trip this summer?
No. Is it going to Mexico?
Oh, certainly not going to Virginia.
I looked up flights today just to be like, I wonder if it'll be really cheap for Robbie and Chelsea to fly out at the end of the summer. And I was like, they hate me anyway. So
was it cheap?
$250 per round trip.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'll do better.
I'll plant the seed in Chelsea's ear. Not the seed we were talking about earlier.
No kids though.
Yeah.
That seed has been cut off.
Yeah, you don't want to plant that in an ear. That's not okay.
For sure.
My screen keeps going black. It's like the screen.
Well, I like you.
The screensaver is wanting to be like, you're done.
Huh.
Cut
that
me
always
off.
happen?
No, it's the first time it's ever happened.
That's weird.
It is odd.
Well, you tell it. Hey, listen, man. I
ain't
don't
going
like
to
that.
jail for you or anybody.
Yeah.
No, so Chelsea's dad has a like Mercedes Sprinter that he bought.
Oh, nice.
All kitted out. And I'm taking myself and all the girls. Yeah, we're gonna go to Yellowstone, which will be fun. I hope. I hope it's either gonna be really fun.
No, dude, there is so little chance it will not be fun. So little chance.
Well, you don't know my girls. It could be rough. No, I think it should be fun because
as long as there's a toilet, that's all you need.
There's a toilet.
Yeah.
I think the tricky thing is it's got an AC, but I don't know if the campground in Yellowstone. I don't think the campground in Yellowstone has like something to plug into, and I don't trust the solar to run the AC. So it could be hot, sweaty night, and I'm like, I'll probably sleep on the bed with the twins, and Mara will sleep like in the walkway.
In Yellowstone.
Oh, it'll start hot for sure though. Like it'll be hot going to bed. So sleeping will be tricky. The other thing I worry about is Juniper's kind of clumsy. Have you ever been you've been to Yellowstone? And like the boardwalks right next to the boiling water. I'm like, that's what worries me is like
you just gotta keep a leash on her. No,
dude, that's what everybody keeps saying. Like, I'm just gonna get like we're gonna buy our like I think about getting into like rock climbing because we went to my nephew Declan's birthday party and they had a rock climbing wall thing and she was all about it. So maybe I'll just buy her a harness.
and just be like, this is only for the platforms.
Clip her into me.
Yeah.
So no, I'm super excited for it though. And then like
when are you going?
Like mid-July.
Nice.
Like the 14th or something like that. And then if like gas, like I don't know what kind of mileage it's gonna get. So if gas is good, we might go to Nebraska for a little bit, visit my grandma.
Nice.
And then I don't know if it's gas prices are okay and the mileage is all right, I might turn into like we might go up to Glacier, go over. I don't know.
Nice.
I might just drive around with the girls all summer long after that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
That'd be fun.
I am excited though. It will be fun.
What are you gonna do during the day with them? I'm curious.
So
besides,
probably take a nap.
Check out the geysers.
We will do a nap. Yeah, no, we're just gonna go to the park and check out all the geysers, go to the mud pots, look for wildlife, go to the lodge.
Like teach them about camp stuff, you know? Like how to build a fire.
Oh, we build fires all the time in the backyard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But like
we're all about that. Yeah, no, I think I'm most excited about it is like when it's just you and the kids, you get this thing like, I'm gonna spoil them. And I'm like, there's no other spouse to be like, let's put that in check. And it goes both ways. Like my wife will do the same thing too, where it's just like, I'm in charge right now. And you know what? We're going to buy you a soda. Daddy's going to get a beer or daddy's got a bottle of whiskey. We're going to put the camp chairs out. We're going to chill.
Daddy's going to drink it all in one night.
We're going to play Uno. That's the other fun thing. It's like they're finally at an age where like they like playing games. So we'll bring some board games and teach some card games and just chill. So and Chelsea's like, I'm going to miss you guys so much. I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to be getting good night's sleep. You're going to be watching your shows and doing your thing. So it'll be good. Yeah. We also got the puppy this week.
Oh yeah, how's the pup? Have you named him yet?
Yes. His name is Wilson Mogwai Cotton Ball Dedlow.
I like it. I like the cotton ball part.
And for short, I call him Wilson Dedlow. He's Willie D.
Willie D's Cadillac Custard.
He's like he's almost not like a puppy. Like he pretty much is house trained already. Like
that's a win.
Today was his first day and then home with everybody out of the house. Chelsea's been off all week.
Okay. Did well.
And so when I come home,
did better than Bo and Moose.
He's doing better. Wow, Moose is getting old. Moose is starting to leak. So we got big potty bands for Moose.
Little dipes.
But come home and like take him out at lunch, and he goes like this big old potty in the backyard, and like he's doing a great job. So, yeah, he's and like poop wise, he poops right in front of my camp chef every single time, which I'm not super happy about. But it's like on like it's almost better in a sense if they go on concrete because or at least the same spot every time because you're like poop's easy. I just got to hit this spot up. So and he's like a cuddle bug man.
Moose, where you're like, where did he drop it?
And that's like he was walking down the stairs and poop started. He's getting old. I feel
Oh,
bad.
poor Moose.
Yeah. So luckily, I don't think he eats too much vegetation or drinks enough water because they're really hard and easy to pick up. And like,
Good.
Like, there's not a lot of cleaning involved, which is nice.
Speaking of Camp Chef,
Mm-hmm.
I did a brisket this weekend, and it turned out really good.
Did you see what Camp Chef? No, you did not. You're supposed to send me when you smoke. You got to send me pictures.
That's the rule. Smoke and pick.
You know what Camp Chef came out with this last 2 weeks?
No.
Oh, not Camp Chef. What's the fire pit I love? Solo came out with a pizza stove topper. And had you not gotten me my pizza stove oven thing for the Camp Chef, I'd be hopping on that train.
How much was it?
It's like $200, which is comparable. Like, I assume it works well, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't, honestly.
Have you made pizza lately?
I have not. We have not made pizza lately.
'Tis the season.
I do. Well, here's the thing: is I tried the camp stove pizza thing a couple of times, but I used it on it was during the winter, so I used it on this portable propane burner that I'll use for French fries, like when we go places and stuff like that. And it just didn't. The burner didn't get hot enough, so I need to do it on the Camp Chef.
Yeah.
So yeah,
hit that high heat.
Hit it.
Anyway,
all right.
If I were to tell you, if I were to ask you a question,
you ask great questions.
I do ask great questions. If I were to say the term sugar monkey to you, what would you think about that?
Well, it sounds kind of racist.
No,
that's my first thought. But sugar monkey, I got no clue.
So if I told you the phrase, "Man, the sugar monkey's back on my back," what would you say?
I would say it's a cocaine addiction.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Just replace cocaine with sugar. Man, you ever just have a little sugar and you're like, man, I need more. I'm in kind of one of those modes right now.
Oh, you know me.
Yeah.
When we were potty training the girls, I had the jar of Skittles, and that, whiskey would lead to
until we found
we found the brown recluse hiding in there.
Yeah, it's the ultimate. What did we say? Skittles were the ultimate
entry drug.
No,
whiskey was the entry drug to Skittles.
Oh, that's right. And then Skittles were to harder stuff. Yeah.
No, man, it's that's the thing is when people offer me sugar, I'm like, I can't. Because if I have something sugary, I just want to keep eating sugar.
Yes.
It's awful.
I'm in that mode. I literally had lunch today, which was a sandwich with really big bread. I went to which for the record,
you should have got the squeeze now.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've never enjoyed a sandwich at which. I have given up.
I don't think I know which.
Okay, yeah. Well, they're I've seen them in Colorado as far as west-wise.
Colorado.
No, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. It is just nothing special. So every time I go there, I'm like, maybe I'll just get a good one, and it's never good.
So you ate the which, then what happened?
I ate the which, and then I went to the grocery store on my lunch and grabbed a candy bar, and I'm like, dang it, I don't need this. But I was like, I really want something sweet, and so the sugar monkey is definitely on my back right now.
You know what when I want something sweet and I'm at the store, I will get some Tic Tacs.
Oh, yeah, they're only a calorie a pop,
something like that. Boo-da pop, and
you can just pop one at a time,
and it's
slow
sweet
yourself
enough.
down.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
That's what I need to do. I need to learn from you, Robbie.
I friggin' love Tic Tacs. My favorite thing. Okay, Tic Tacs and cotton candy. What do they have in common?
Sugar.
I don't know if there's that much sugar in Tic Tacs, but there's sugar.
There's 1 calorie a pop.
What more importantly, outside of sugar, what do they have in common? I'll stop you right there, Cole. They're better when they're stale. I love when cotton candy gets hard and stale. It's crunchy,
yeah,
and then it dissolves. And then Tic Tacs get way chewy when they get stale.
Huh.
So do yourself a favor right now. Go buy a bunch of Tic Tacs.
Leave them out in the air.
Hide them in places that you don't regularly check. Maybe throw some in with your Christmas decorations. Yeah. And when you go back to getting them, these are stale. Should I eat them? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
And you'll be thankful. I love stale Tic Tacs.
Thank Robbie. No, that's good.
Yeah. Except for I don't know how we'll do in your humidity. Might just be like a glob. Have you seen that
good.
video? Like okay, so here I'm gonna
Educate
something I'm not proud of.
Okay.
I enjoy TikTok.
Oh yeah,
I do.
you're about to be banned. You're right next to Montana, who just banned it.
No, did Montana?
Apparently.
Well, I like there's just a lot. It's like long form reels, right? Like it goes a little longer than
Oh, is it?
but I saw
Yeah.
this dude. Apparently, with airheads, you're supposed to take it by the end and you
yeah.
and shake and shake.
Mhm.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've done that
I've
for
never done
years.
that.
Mhm.
You've done that for years.
You gotta really shake it.
That's
like,
what
and then
that's
it'll
what I
like
heard.
force its way down, and then it's like, and it hits different. I'll tell you that it hits different.
That's what they said. I've never tried it. You know what else is really good with candy? Get yourself, Mambas.
Yeah.
Mambas. It's kind of like a Starburst.
Fruity. Yeah.
Yeah. Put one of those. You can probably get Starburst too. Put one of those on a stick and roast it over the campfire, and it gets like caramelized on the outside and crunchy.
Ooh, like crunchy. Yeah.
Gets crunchy on the outside and gooey in the middle. Oh, it's so good.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sold.
I'm doing my best to keep that sugar monkey on your back.
Yeah. It's hard, man. Like right before this, I had like a oatmeal cream pie cookie from this place in Richmond that does like big ones. Like, and I just put it down. It was in the freezer, and I'm like, I need this. And I like thawed it out in the microwave and threw it down my gullet.
You know what else is a good sugar summer substitute?
What's that?
Is Costco has these things called like True Frou is what it's called. And it's like I can't even think what they are because I haven't had one in forever, but it's like a frozen strawberry with like yogurt. I don't know what it is, but those are good. Those are tasty.
I might need to get back on a diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been losing weight, but you can't tell because I shaved, and now I'm like, oh gosh, the beard's gone. Now he's got that chin.
Good to me.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I also play basketball with my students at the end of the day, and like my sweat. I'm looking sweaty, and I didn't wear the hat, so I'm looking old. It's a banner day at the Deadlow household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's time now that you say banner
probably
day
past
at
time.
The Deadlow household. It's probably time to get into our break, and then we'll talk about the history of Octomore and the distillery that makes it. Anything else, Robbie, before we send it there?
So if you really want to eat a lot of sugar, the best way to go is, I don't know. Sorry. No, let's go to break.
Let's go to break. All right, we're back. We're drinking Octomore Edition 13.2 this week. Shout out, first of all, to Ben Klepsig, who sent us this sample. We appreciate you, Ben. What a baller. Give me a second.
Seriously?
Give me a second. Ooh, very nice baller ding. That means good luck when it's a very nice baller ding. So anyway, another shout out to Justin from the Smoked Oak on Instagram. He offered a few Penelope samples since last week's episode.
Penelope.
Yeah, Penelope samples and a Wild Turkey 12-year. So those will be exciting episodes to come. And then also right after I wrote that note today, while I was putting down all my notes and stuff, John Hughes.
Friggin' Voldemort Hughes.
Yeah. He reached out and was like, hey, I got some Penelope for you guys too. So we're stoked about all those kinds of people. We can't say thank you enough. Yeah. Give me a moment, John. Ooh, good luck to you. That lasted a while. Anyway. Some great conversations, though, otherwise on Instagram this week. So thank you for all those who reached out and touched us. We're drinking Octomore Edition 13.1. If you're not familiar, Octomore is a Scotch, but we'll get into that. This is definitely our first Octomore whiskey on the podcast, let alone our first Bruichladdich distillery product on the podcast. We've done most of the island distilleries by now. We've done Ardbeg, Bowmore, Kilchoman, Lagavulin, Laphroaig, 5 out of the big 8. And now today we get the 6 out of the big 8. Some people say 9, but I say 8 right now. With today covering Bruichladdich, we'll have Ardnaho and Bunahaven.
Oh, wait.
And Colilla. Huh?
Ardnaho?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
It's the newest distillery. It's built in 2018.
Ardnaho, that's right. Ida Pimp, Ardnaho. I don't know. That's an Idaho thing.
So close.
You to Pimp, Idaho.
Ardnaho. Ironnaho.
That's the third part.
Yurdaho. Idaho.
I'm the pimp. No, Idaho. You the pimp. Ardnaho. No, that's it.
Ardnaho. Yurdaho. I don't know. Anyway. And then the last one that we haven't done is Colilla, which I think we have at least one sample of Colilla on the shelf somewhere. So let's get into the Bruichladdich distillery background and some of the history of the Octomore line. So Bruichladdich is one of the distilleries bordering the Loch Indal, which is probably basically
state is Boise in? What state is Boise in?
Me?
Yeah. What state is Boise in?
Oh, Idaho.
That's right. Ida Pimp, Idaho.
Ardnaho.
There you go. We nailed it.
Yeah,
took a
that's
while.
What I was saying earlier.
yeah. No, I was just trying to get the whole thing condensed into one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
That's the joke. You can only tell people who know the distillery.
Yeah. So,
yeah. So shut up, Robby.
Which, no, it's all good. Basically, is like the bay, like the south-ish portion of the Isle of Islay. The southernmost island. Islay is the southernmost island of the Inner Hebrides of the western part of Scotland. The big distillery bordering Loch Indal. It's basically this like nice bay on the bottom. I don't know. Look it up. The other one bordering Loch Indal is Bowmore, and it used to be Port Ellen as well, like the distillery, but that one's kind of like, I think they just got bought out again, and they haven't been making whiskey in a while, but maybe they're back.
I like your jazz
but anyway,
hands you had going there.
Yeah. Otherwise, most of the other distilleries are from the eastern coast of the island. Bruichladdich, it looks like it's pronounced Bruichladdich, but it's pretty simple. It's just Bruichladdich. It's Gaelic for shore bank. Bruichladdich was built in 1881, 102 years after Bowmore was built, which is Bowmore is currently the oldest distillery in Islay. Started by three brothers, John, William, and Robert Harvey. They were a family that definitely had some distillery experience. The Harvey family already had their hands on a few distilleries in Glasgow for years at that point. And they built it together when it did get built. And in 1881, it was apparently state of the art at the time. Apparently a lot went into it, built from stones from the seashore nearby and had really impressive layout, especially for the time. What they started it as well with tall, slender stills. And similar to what we talked about with Glen Grant. Glen Grant has these tall, slender stills, which usually produces a crisper, cleaner whiskey taste. More refreshing generally compared to other shorter pot still whiskeys or scotches. Anyway, William Harvey took over the distillery after a quarrel with his brothers, even before the distillery was finished. He died, though, in 1936, years later, 50 plus years later. And after that, there were a few purchases of the distillery, and that's kind of how it seems to go. It'll kind of hit its peak and then fall down, and then multiple companies will buy it out and move along. And but eventually it was purchased by White and Mackay in 1994. Though White and Mackay shut the distillery down, saying it was, quote, surplus to requirements, unquote. It was then purchased in the year 2000 by a few private investors led by a guy named, what's that from?
It's Conan O'Brien.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you told me this.
Yeah, we used to do that more.
Few private investors, led by a guy behind the independent bottler brand called Murray McDavid. They took on a guy named Jim McEwan.
I need a fake name. I gotta get a fake passport. I gotta get out of the country.
McDavid? Yeah. But it's probably two names. It's not like a dude's name. It's like a.
I know, but I'm still just saying, like Murray McDavid just sounds like the fake name. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Jim McEwan, who previously worked
at Bowmore Say that name again
for years. Jim McEwan, like Ewan McGregor.
That's McEwan.
Maybe it's McEwan.
It's Ewan McGregor. Jim.
Is it?
Jim McEwan, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Jim McEwan.
What's that? You do a couple by similar last name.
What?
They live up in Spokane now.
McCune.
Was that spelled different? It probably spelled very different.
MCCUNE.
Okay, very different, which is cool.
I think Ewan.
Shout out to the McCunes.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
She went to Harvard.
What a baller. He gets a baller shout out. Anyway. I almost dropped the glass. So anyway, he worked at Bowmore for a while.
Everywhere.
And he came on.
If it ain't about the money, Cole, I just don't care. I'm that good fella shy guy, sometimes wise guy. See you out in HAWAII. Cole, will you stop drinking whiskey? Rob, why try? I'm a die-hard. No, that didn't work.
Wait, did you make that up all as you went?
No, it's a Puff Daddy and May's song.
Oh, now I know. I'm
Brothers
better
be
off.
out in Jersey, puffing the Hershey. Brothers ain't worthy to rock my derby. Sorry. Continue with the class.
So anyway, he had previously worked at Bowmore as the master.
If you're watching
distiller.
YouTube, you can see Cole's look at me like, shut up.
No, it's just like, I hope it works this time. So anyway, Jim McEwan.
Whatchamacallit? You remember that candy bar? Sure,
as the master he started at what is this distillery? Bruichladdich as their master distiller. He worked at Bowmore previously. After dismantling and rebuilding basically the whole distillery, they started things up again. And apparently, even though they like dismantled and rebuilt, they have most of their original still equipment that the Harvey brothers put together. So I thought that was kind of cool. In 2012, the company was purchased by Remy Cointreau, which they're still owned by today.
Paul Harvey. There's Steve Harvey.
Paul Harvey
on Family Feud. Isn't there like a Paul Harvey?
No, it's
Steve Harvey on Family Feud. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a Paul Harvey that's famous?
Paul Harvey.
That sounds.
Paul Harvey. I'm sure there's a person out there. We'll have to look him up.
I'm looking it up. You keep reading.
Yeah, you do that while I talk about history.
I'll try to speak.
Their core products are both peated and unpeated, including the unpeated classic laddie, and the peated. Some of the other peated varieties. They have an organic, bear barley, and black art, which they put out. But then they also do something called Port Charlotte, which kind of's got a cool bottle, if you asked me. And it's heavily peated. But in 2002, soon after Jim McEwan took over as master distiller when they reopened, they decided to hit the Isla market hard with an extra heavily peated variety called Octomore, named after a small farm distillery that preceded Bruichladdich in the 1800s. In 2008, they released their first batch to the public, and there were only 6,000 bottles. They soon were putting phenol numbers on their bottles too. Batch 2.1 had 140 parts per million on the phenol scale, which is like 3 times more peat than you would get from like an Ardbeg. And Ardbeg's typically known to be on the peatier side for the Isla distilleries. Anyway, since then, Octomore has reached as high as 208 parts per million on at least that was the batch 7.2. They're up to edition 13.4 now. What we're drinking today is edition 13.2, which came out about a year or two ago, within the last 2 years. And this batch, check this out, Octomore edition number 13.2. This batch was not just finished in sherry like some scotches will be. The entire 5+ years of its aging process was in Oloroso sherry butts.
Hubba da what? Cherry butts?
Exactly.
They drive me nuts. Sorry.
Yep. And by the way, 5-ish years is kind of the standard for Octomore releases.
And
They say
and
that's the
that's the rest of the
maximization
story.
of peat. What's that?
And that's the rest of the story.
Yeah, but there's
That's
a
what
little
Paul
more.
Harvey said. Paul Harvey was the like guy that shows up on like the Saturday morning like news channels that are
Okay.
like it's like
And he would say that's the rest of the story.
yeah. So that's why
I don't remember him. Paul Harvey. What about Harvey Paul? Look that up.
Oh gosh, you're just trying to get me to be quiet while I look things up on the internet.
What's the Idaho guy? Paul? Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul.
He's from Idaho.
He is.
I
know where his parents live.
That's right. We actually drove by his place when we visited one time, and you were like, "That's where he grew up."
He also
this
asked
is kind
my
of a big
sister-in-law
deal.
out, and she
Oh,
said
really?
no. Yeah,
You did?
I did not ask my sister-in-law out.
Wait, no. I thought you said you asked his sister-in-law out.
No. He asked my sister-in-law out. They went to high school together.
Nice. She
Yeah, she
turned
said
him
no.
down hard. Who's your sister-in-law?
Megan?
Wait, Chelsea's sister?
Chelsea's sister, yeah. That would be my sister-in-law.
Well, I don't know.
I don't have a brother. Well, yeah, I don't have a brother.
Maybe it was your brother's wife or something like that.
Well, my dad used to tell me I had a brother named Marty.
And you ate him?
And Marty didn't listen. And Marty was a bad kid, so they gave him away to gypsies.
Nice.
And every once in a while, my dad would come home and be like, I saw Marty. Still not listening. Clean your room, Robby.
Was it like believable age, or were you like,
it was believable age.
Oh, dang.
It was believable.
That'll mess you up. That's funny.
Well, no, it wasn't that bad, because then when I got knowledgeable age, I was like, oh,
you
gosh,
laughed.
I can't believe I believed that.
Yeah, that's good.
But
anyway,
listen, real quick. If you were raised by gypsies and your name is Marty, please reach out to me.
Yeah, reach out to us. Yep. So I'm so close to finishing this. The part that it's like a 5-year Oloroso sherry finish, or not even finished, aged bourbon is a pretty big deal. Most Octomores and most Scotches are at least like starting the age in like ex-bourbon barrels, which is kind of a standard thing, and then they'll finish in something like a sherry cask.
Continue.
But sherry has a stronger effect on aging, in my humble opinion.
Oh, yeah, your opinion.
Edition 13.2 is proofed at 58.3 alcohol by volume, or 116.6 proof. Reaches a phenol level of, get this, 137.3.
I'm shocked.
Single malt. Yeah, it's up there. Single malt, so 100% malted barley. It is non-chill filtered. Hey,
that's not the name of the podcast.
And color free, which you're allowed to do with caramel color and stuff like that. They chose not to. Good for them.
Oh boy!
Thanks again to Ben Klepsig for sharing the pour. I saw retail should have been around 160, 170, but Ben said he picked it up for like $250 a bottle. So thank you.
Dang, Ben. Ben is a friggin'
generous. Yeah.
Baller and generous. Yeah.
And if you look at most scotches, especially 5-year or less scotches, they are not this dark. So that says a lot about the aging in sherry butts, that it picked up a lot of the color from that. One day we'll have sherry butts on.
We will. I thought you were going to say, though, Ben Klepsig prints out labels.
Yeah.
It was like, if you print out nice labels, it makes it so much easier for me to find, because Cole's like, it's the good label.
Yeah, it's one with like that's written out. I still don't do that yet, and I'm the one who sends out drink along samples. I should get on it. So get this. I had Hypernova recently again, and it was so good. It was even better than I remember.
Really?
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh my gosh.
And that was like 170 or something like that.
I'm not oh my gosh in that. I'm oh my gosh in the nose on this.
Yeah, really a nice mixture of sweet and peat, but in a brighter way than I'd say typically I get from Ardbeg. Ardbeg kind of has a salty, saline,
Salani,
yeah, like
Solani,
briny,
Emu, Solani.
Solanio. This is sweeter, brighter, peater than at least your
That was my
general.
nickname in high school. Sweeter, brighter, Peter.
That's good. I was talking to John Hughes. Did you read the conversation I had between me and John Hughes?
I didn't get through it.
He said something that I was like, that was a nickname in college. I'll have to look it up later. But it was good. I don't know if John laughed as much as I did.
Oh my gosh. I will say this is I do get some brininess from it. It is a little salty, like almost peppery spice on it too. But it is like it's a
bit of pear.
It is a beautiful peatiness. Like I don't know if
it's really well rounded.
I don't know if it's just been so long since I've had a really peated Scotch where I'm like, oh, I miss this, and my nose is like coming alive with it. But it smells delicious.
Wow. At first, it's like, really, dude, wait until it finishes. It is pure peat on the, like, typically when you try something like Hypernova or something like we've had before, like even just Ardbeg releases, it is sweet through the palate and then it kind of fades, but it's not as peaty as the nose is. This is way more peaty than the nose is, in my opinion, on the palate versus the nose. It was like burning on my tongue. Like I could feel the smoke on my tongue, basically. I don't know what you think.
The palate on this is like, nose wise, it's like, hey, can I borrow $1? And you're like, yeah. And the mouth is like, give me $50. Like it is, it comes on so strong. Yeah. It is really it is full body,
potent.
There's some heat to it. Like you really like they made best use out of the 58 point whatever percentage is.
Yeah. It's a good
proof. It hits hard and fast. It is just I get like I got to go for a second sip because I got to go back and figure out what I'm getting. But I want to say it was almost citrusy for a little bit there. Maybe like peachy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's really, it's just intense and there's a lot going on. But like the peat is
intense
strong
is the
with
word.
This one. It is very intense. This is like,
I didn't even know you could get this intense on the palate.
This is like smelling salts. Like this would wake you up.
I've never done it, but I can imagine that's what it's like.
I've never done them either. But
yeah,
Connor, what's Connor's last name again from Who Gives a Damn?
McGregor.
Gilbert. Connor Gilbert. I'm sure you've done smelling salts.
Yeah, of course he's done.
He's in like that powerlifting stuff. They do that thing. Let us know. Yeah. Try this and let us know if this is the smelling salts of whiskey. Okay, I'm gonna go for a second sip.
It's a. I honestly did not think that you can get so peaty on the palate. Like this is intense.
So after taking my sip, it just it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
After taking my first sip and then going back to the nose, I kind of get orange blossoms on the nose. Like there's some sort of citrusiness there.
One out. I love orange blossoms.
I mean, it's not the prominent note, but it is. I feel like it's there.
Just a hint. So here's my half gripe. Yeah, it's intense. Yeah, it's good. But it's not on the palate. I wish it were more well balanced with the sweet. I love Ardbeg's higher peated ones, like Supernova, Hypernova, or even Ugadal or Korvrecken. They really balance the sweet and peat. This one doesn't as much. Once it kind of hits you with the peat, it gets dry. Like the actual whiskey starts getting pretty dry in a lack of sweetness way. I love it. I think this is really, really good and really, really unique, which I dig. But if I were to say, hey, this or Hypernova, I'd go Hypernova 10 times. 9 times out of 10.
Ooh.
Be like, all right, let's get 9 bottles of this, 1 bottle of Octomore.
I like this. I just added some water.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting more florally. I'm not getting like a vanilla note, but it's vanilla-esque.
Uh-huh.
It's really sweet and bright, but I'm not sure where it's landing.
I'm giving it the old Spin J.
I like the note. Oh man, this is kind of I mean, I honestly I knew nothing about this, so I'm kind of in the hub of what stage where I'm like, this is kind of blowing my mind. I figured it'd be good, but I'm like, this is really vibrant in a lot of ways, and I'm digging it.
Would you prefer it with the water?
Nose, I don't know. No, like the nose definitely opened up. It's a little sweeter. It's got like whatever I can't figure out that's like on that vanilla side. But like neat was just hit with the peat and it was sweet. And I said, I want my mouth to greet this, meet this. Hopefully nothing can beat this. I wanted to stand up, but I thought I better seat this butt of mine. And my mouth was in for a treat for this.
With my pleated khakis. Can't win that one. So I taste it. The sweet is there a little more. It's not as dry on the palate with some water. I don't know if I prefer it. It's not bad. But I think it's still very strong peat on this thing. Honestly, like I said a million times, I didn't know you can get this peaty on the palate.
There is, and it's not this, but this is what it's making me think of, is like a orange cream soda.
Okay.
Like I get some of that vanilla from the ice cream.
Yeah.
I get a lot of like orange citrusy notes.
Uh-huh.
And I just don't know if like the peat overshadows all that, so it's not quite there. But then it's still very smoky. Yeah. And I like it. I like this a lot. This is really good.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm all about this. I will say
I'm giving it the old Spin J with some ice. What's that?
So like this makes me think of like time of year that I want to drink this. And I like scotches more in the winter because it's like cozy up to the fire, like, oh, it smells like a fire. I'm sitting by a fire. Yeah. Well, here we go. But the like I was saying, like the orange creamsicle kind of thing, the orange float, whatever. It's a good bridge. It's like a nice springtime scotch.
Yeah,
kind of about it.
A fall scotch once it starts to get a little cold.
I don't know. I'm saying spring, bro.
I was thinking like the first day of like put on a jacket, but that's just me. Couldn't explain it.
No, I mean like I get citrusy from it, which is more spring to me.
I gotcha. In Phoenix, dude, citrus is everywhere. So
far in the hole.
On the nose with ice, it's good nose. I mean, it doesn't even smell much peaty to me, comparatively, especially compared to the neat and the water pours. But there's a little bit of peat there, but it's mostly like just scotchy.
It is peaty, but I'm like, I will die on this hill. This is like a vanilla cream soda, like orange cream, like orange sickle, like it's citrusy sweet. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I'm dying on this hill. So if you want to fight me, you're gonna have to kill me. This is really good. I love this. This might be my whiskey of the year.
Really? I
It
love to
might
hear that.
be. It's on. It's up for grabs right now. Like this is in contendership, contenderizing,
Contendium.
contendium. This is in contendium. Yeah, the nose is like it's very. It's muted with the ice, which is okay because it was strong on neat for sure. So it kind of, it doesn't hurt it. But it's like I get that citrus. I get like a vanilla almost. And the peat is less pronounced.
Yeah. No, it's definitely less pronounced on the ice. I like it. I think I'll give it a higher rating than you might imagine. Especially for the neat pour. I think neat was my favorite, definitely.
On the palate, iced isn't as great.
Yeah.
It's muted for sure. I think the peat stands out a little bit more so it's more of that. But it's not strong. Like the smokiness isn't there.
Yeah.
It's still good. Like I would drink that over a lot of other things any day. But yeah, neat. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your rating?
Okay.
What do you got? What do you got?
I'm gonna go 8.75. I think it's good. I think it's actually really unique in a really good way. Don't think it broke 9 for me. I think it's hard to do that. I enjoyed the peatiness, but almost in a novelty. Like it was a new experience for me. It was a I've never had something so peaty on the palate. Like normally, and it wasn't like my biggest thing, like I said, is it can't compete with Ardbeg. But it is special. Don't get me wrong. So that's why I give it 8.75. It is very special. I dig it. There wasn't a thing about it I didn't enjoy, but I wish it would have melded that sweetness with the peat a little more.
Okay. Well, and just you saying that, I feel like it did. And okay, cool. I loved it. Like I'll say it again.
I'll die on this hill.
Orange creamsicle.
I like that you got that.
Yeah, no, I felt like there was enough sweetness there. And like I said, I haven't had before we started too, you were like, I had the Hypernova. And so I have not had a Scotch recently enough where I'm like able to compare.
Who else has been on Isla?
But I'm loving this. This is delicious. I'm going 9.3. I am very frugal. So I would buy this at a bar for sure. I don't know if I would be able to spend the $230 for it, but
$250, yeah.
$250. Well, I don't know if I could do that either, Cole.
Yeah.
But this is so good. Like if you get a chance, I would say go for it. Like it's definitely an experience. It's definitely something strong. I feel one other thing I want to go back to, like I think the malt barley kind of like the malted taste really comes out on the ice though. Like that's where you really can kind of pick out, this is what I'm drinking. So
yeah, for
that's
sure.
just one thought I had. So
yeah, I like that.
All right.
Well, now that we've covered our reviews and our ratings, let's send it over to a segment we like to call Whiskey World News.
And we're back. Part of the show, we read an article, we talk about it, didn't write it, gonna read it, here it goes. This one comes from The Wine Enthusiast. What? This is a wine podcast? No, but apparently that's not actually all about wine enthusiasm either. So double standard. It's written by Aaron Goldfarb, which also sounds like a made up I need a fake passport.
We've had Aaron Goldfarb before. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Because it's a made up name.
Yeah.
Yeah. McLovin it. It's titled, Do These Tips and Tricks for Finding Rare Whiskey Still Work? And I'm just going to kind of move to like the bullet
paraphrase.
So number 1, whiskey hunting trick number 1, make friends with the liquor store owner. So many continue to act like the key to getting rare bottles is like the key to getting a good job, networking. Maybe it was true in the recent past that you hung around your local liquor store and shot the shit with,
explicit.
Oh, we earned the rating. I was just reading. Shot the poo.
Yeah.
with the guy behind the counter. They'd stash a bottle of Pappy for you when it was released in November. The problem is twofold. Lots of people started schmoozing up the person behind the counter, and eventually they, or more likely their boss, realized their ability to make $1,000 on a single bottle trumped low-level friendship. So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, ask the liquor store owner if there's anything good in the back, which I ask my wife almost every night, and she's like, no.
She slaps you every night.
Does it work? No. Are you insane? Number three, call every store in town. Does it work? Oh, heck no. Okay, you're really insane and annoying everyone. Number four, make friends with online taters. Come to think of it, there is a LinkedIn for bourbon, Facebook, and for the last decade or so, a slew of private groups have popped up in which allocated bourbon-obsessed collectors, sometimes dubbed taters, spend all day talking and debating bourbon. They also buy and sell, trade, and raffle away desired bottles. Join some of these groups if you haven't already. Then maybe after you've made some legitimate online connections, one of them will hook you up with a great bottle for a friend rate. Number five, line up and or log on. Allocated bourbon has become more desirable, and brands and distributors begin to release it across a wider swath of the country. Many stores, as well as distilleries themselves, decided one of the fair ways to sell it was by asking customers to line up for it. If you truly want that bottle of Willet Weeded 8-year-old at a retail price, get to the cellar early and be prepared to stand in the parking lot for hours. The same is true for many online retailers like Sealbox, which will release certain rarities like the Maryland Heritage Series. I feel like that's a plug. Is that a thing? Do you know what that is? Maryland Heritage Series?
No.
No. At exact times and sell them to whomever is the fastest at processing their e-shopping cart. Yeah. And then number 6, interstate lotteries. I'm just going to keep moving on there. Number 7, check duty free. Keep moving on. 8, have cash and be willing to spend it. That actually works.
Yeah.
Right? And number 9, realize there's a lot of other good stuff out there. Does it work? Always.
Yes.
There are plenty of bottles that aren't rare, allocated, or all that pricey. However, they're often just as delicious as allocated rare finds. For instance, look for options like Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series, Russell Reserve Single Barrel, and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Before spending all the time and money to hunt down allocated whiskey, ask yourself, do you want rare whiskey because it's rare or because you think it's the most delicious option out there? All right, Cole. Any thoughts there?
I have a lot of thoughts. I do agree that
you're the thoughtiest person I know.
Yeah, I got thoughts. I got mad thoughts. I think they're right. Like, it's not what it used to be. In 2015, I could build relationships with store owners and work that in a great way. And yeah, like I bought a lot of stuff, but I like made sure that they knew who I was, and I would get bottles like Pappy 15 or William LaRue Weller or Eagle Rare 17. I can't do that anymore. There's way too much. There's way too much competition. There's a lot more people that are into bourbon and hunting rare bourbon. But then secondly, it's like, yeah, like there are a lot of people that realize there's better ways to do it to make even more money. And there are exceptions. Don't get me wrong. Like Brian was telling me he's made some great connections. Brian Rapp is telling me he's made some great connections that have panned out in great ways. He's done well with lotteries, raffles, and all that stuff. But I gotta say, it's just not what it used to be. Like, it's so much harder to do that. And my best method of winning or getting bottles is the ABC lottery now. So that's what's hard. Yeah.
No, I kind of like what it said, where it's like, are you trying to get these bottles because they're rare or because they're the best whiskey you can find? And I think that's true. Like, I don't even really enter lotteries anymore because I don't think the whiskeys are always the best whiskeys, right?
Yeah.
So if something comes up that I really like, or something like, okay, we could do this on the show, I'll enter the lottery. But like,
yeah,
other than that, I'm like,
you better be putting in for Eagle Rare 17.
Oh, you know, I'd be putting in. All right, we ready to move on?
I guess so. Yeah, let's go over last week's results of what whiskey would you choose?
Well, once again, Robert has screwed the pooch. Sorry, Mr.
Yeah.
Perfect. So last week's, what's your favorite attainable whiskey? I said rare breed. Cole said Four Roses, small batch, select. I posted small batch.
I think you've done this before too.
I have done it before. I'm an idiot. So by default,
All good.
Cole wins because
I win by
Robbie's an idiot.
disqualification.
Yeah. Okay. I like that better than Robbie's an idiot.
Yeah.
I won 90-10.
Nice.
But I'm disqualified. Cole petitioned me to do a pee test, and I had steroids.
He had the steroids.
And we have some write-ins. Embellish Pod, Jim Beam, Double Oaked.
Which I've never heard of. I got to check that out.
I've always heard of, like Woodford Double Oak.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I'm not a whiskey guy. I don't do whiskey. Mad Time Marketing Big whiskey. I hate it. I've been drinking apple juice this entire time I've been doing the show.
He's like, what are Cole's notes? Let me deviate slightly from what he said.
Sometimes that's the thing is like whiskey is horseshoes and hand grenades, right? Like someone suggests something and you're like, I can see that. But like if you're like, sorry, Mara left a message on. I was like, what are you doing? But no, it's like if someone's like, I get tungsten, and you're like, I don't know what tungsten is. You're like, no, but if you're like, I get stone fruit, you're like, yeah, I see stone fruit. All right, anyway. Did I say Mad Town Marketer, Ben Kleps?
Yep.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
You didn't say what he chose though.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Nice. Which is somewhat findable, but also not super findable.
I don't see it a lot.
Yeah.
Marco Nezzi, Rare Breed, Four Roses Small Batch Select. Oh, he agrees with both of us. Old Forester 1920, Knob Creek Single Barrel. All great. Nice. Smoked Note, Russell's Reserves Single Barrel.
Nice.
Miles Ferguson, Kilta 518, Ardbeg, Ugadal, can't find Corvrecken reliably anymore.
That's rough.
The Whiskey Drinking Panda, Four Roses Small Batch Select. I feel like this is people calling me out and like you posted it wrong, you ding dong. Paul Clarkson, Mellocorn, which is not Connor Gilbert, but to do Connor happy. Marker 5151, Old Forester 1920. All great write-ins. And Cole, do we have a what whiskey would you choose this week? Yes, we do.
I think you do.
Yeah, but does Robbie have it pulled up in time?
So while Robbie pulls it up, I'll talk about the color of this whiskey. It's a beige terracotta. No, I'm kidding. Do you have it up yet?
Oh, no.
So anyway, Robbie's going from a list that he had in some video or something like that.
It was from a Facebook group.
All
right. Cool. All right. So we talked about your favorite daily drinker, your favorite attainable whiskey. Now, what is your favorite allocated whiskey?
Oh.
So something that's hard to get.
Allocated mean like anything?
It means everything.
Okay, cool. So Eagle Rare 17. It's not the best thing I've ever had, but it is my favorite allocated whiskey. Super hard to find. Usually have a chance on a lottery, if anything, but unless you're Brian Rapp, who easily scores one on a raffle. What a baller.
Bring!
What a baller. So anyway, that's what I think. I love that bottle. It goes way back for me, like where I fell in love with that bottle. But that's my favorite bottle.
Plug your blog real quick.
Yeah, I'm not going to have it up for much longer. So if you really want to read my blog, it's whiskeygoals.com. I'm going to take it down soon because it's been 8 years that I've had it up.
It's been a while, yeah. No, I just remember early chill filter days where it was Adam
would plug it. Yeah.
Yep. There's nothing wrong.
It's a good written blog. Like if I may say so myself, it was well written.
No, honestly,
because it was like a journey.
I really enjoyed reading it, and there's one of the things that made me like, maybe I need to get into this. So it is good.
Yeah.
But I like the way you put it. Like, is it the best whiskey? No, but is it my favorite? And I think that plays into it. You know, where you have some sort of sentimental, like, this is the whiskey that made me realize this, or this is the one that I had with so and so. Allocated wise, I think my mind goes straight to BTAC. And when we had the SAS 17,
18,
SAS, gosh, I cannot do years. We did the SAS 18. I've been salivating to get more.
Yeah, that was good.
My hands on that more. So that's where I'm at.
SAS 18 was amazing.
It was so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So
One
good.
a Heine.
There you go.
Look at me catching
Look
up.
at you. We're the best.
Anyway, so that's
We're the
good.
best.
Well,
We do
next
so
week,
well. We riff
do
off
so
each
well.
other. You read things and I interrupt appropriately.
Yeah,
It's
and then
so
I
good.
interrupt you, and
Yeah,
then
and
we
then
don't
you
know where
glare
we're
at me
at.
like, stop
Yeah, no,
interrupting. And I'm like,
no.
I won't.
I think next week I'm just gonna pick 2 bottles. And I don't even know what they're gonna be yet. It depends on
Perfect.
if we get any samples by the courier next week that we might be able to do a Penelope depending on how fast the courier is this week. But keep an eye out, listeners. By this week, you'll likely be getting your drink along samples via courier. So he's going to be a busy guy this week. So if it doesn't work out, we'll figure it out. If it doesn't work out that we have like a Penelope this week, we'll figure it out. So that's what I got.
Perfect. Well, I hope the courier gets on his bad motor scooter and rides.
Yeah, I hope he listens to Bad Motor Finger and rides to Soundgarden.
I hope he breaks his rusty cage. But most of all, listeners,
pretty news.
Hope our love of spirits. No, nay, say I. I hope our love of whiskey lifted your spirits. We got the Psalms!